All right, folks, let's get to it. The story of Nancy. I told you I made a video, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I said I'd follow up in a week or so. I'm a little late, I guess, so I apologize, but you know, it takes a lot of guts to do this stuff, and I finally have the guts to do it, and I should have been doing it years ago, even more and more and more. But the story of Nancy Bearded and how I came to saving this lady's life, the dog, and the home. So I have a friend, Andrew Brian Sparks, and he's in the Marshall County Jail. I had a girlfriend back in Texas. I had dated her for about 9 months, and every time I would talk to Andrew before he went to jail, I'd ask to talk to his mother. And I've been talking to them for years on and off the phone. They live in Alabama. That's where I'm at. I live in Texas. For years I'd talk to his mom, and I'd just get to hear her a little bit or talk to her a little bit on the phone. Okay? So when I was with my girlfriend, I'd ask to talk to Nancy for a while. Well, Nancy wasn't available too much. Okay? And he's an alcoholic. He was living here with his mother, and he was taking care of her, or trying to. So after I had broke up with my girlfriend, it was ordained by God, this purpose and this plan and this reason I'm here. I got back to Dallas, and he had called me a couple times from jail, incarceration. And he goes, "Hey man, I need you to do some things with the rent, this and that." So I did. And I said, "You know what? I bet you that poor lady is sitting there by herself, her and the dog." And he never asked me to come here. He never asked me. But I had the means and the time. So I put myself aside and acted on what God was telling me to do. And I drove 12 hours, I-20, from Dallas, Texas, to Albertville, Alabama. And I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't know how bad. And when I found her, we'll meet her here and the dog in a minute. And when I found her, we're in the same home where I rescued him from. She was out on the porch, estranged, dirty, in shock, and the dog was a little standoffish with me at first. Let me pet her, but she was a little standoffish. So I introduced myself. She remembered me from my name, because he used to always say Berg. And she remembered a little bit, but I don't think she really remembered me. We never met each other physically, ever. Just always through the phone. Talked to her and her son for years through the phone. So I got in the home, and it was just nothing but mess. Every dish in the house dirty. Food, sugar, fridge completely empty. The back door was open. She wears diapers. She was out of diapers. The TV was off. She had no phone. And I came to calculate she was left alone by the time when he went to jail, right before August of 2024 is how long I've been here. So I calculated he got in jail in July sometime. I have the date written down. So she was here 3 weeks, or a little over 3 weeks on her own, eating out of cans, her and the dog surviving. And I got to work. I got to cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. It was bag after bag after bag after bag. And got this place in shape where I could live in it and with her. And I didn't know I'd be doing this long. So right away, she's hungry. So good old Whataburger came to the rescue that day. We sat down after I was cleaning for the better part of 5-6 hours first to get the main part of the disgust and the feces and just everything out of the house. The house was full of gnats. It had big roaches. And it didn't have a lot of little roaches, German roaches, which I was surprised, very surprised in Alabama. But it had them big old ones. And they'd start about 9:30, they'd start coming in the house, boy. So, and I'd like you guys, I'm making this video so you can help me and I can help somebody else too. And we'll get into other videos on guardianship, respite care, hospice, all kinds of things to help other people, because there could be some people that need some help out there. And I know we definitely do and can use it in every way. Although I've went through the process of learning and growing through all kinds of help and applying for different things, and from food to state-ran programs, etc., etc., etc. I pretty much know legal help, etc. Pretty much know everything there is to know as far as the help that this state has for her. And so right away, they took liking to me, and I had to tell her that I've been a friend of Andrew's for 20 years, which I have, and that's the reason for that I'm here and saved her. If I didn't know her son, Andrew Sparks, I wouldn't have known to came here and save her, okay? And when I got pulled up, their car that they had was in the front yard like this on an angle with all the windows down. I think the bounty hunters or the police came and got them in the house, because I've been able, when I first got involved with this, able to deal with him through the jail. He'd call my phone and he would tell me how to pay the bills, the bank account, all etc., get into his phone so I could operate in here and use their money and deal with this situation. At first I used a lot of my money, but then now we're using her Social Security check, paying all the bills and etc. to keep the house, the car, the dog, everything, electric, everything going. So I gave up my business. I had a roofing company in Texas. I gave that up to save her. So when I came here, I didn't know I'd be here. I thought I was just going to be checking on her. So it ended up turning into being a 10-month project. I'm going on the 11th month now. So through all that, I became her permanent guardian. And now I've applied twice to be her payee, Social Security Administration. And for some reason, they shot me down on that. And we're appealing that process and going through that process. So I've been working with an attorney that's her payee to manage her funds and whatnot. And we've been dealing with that for 4 months now. And everything's fine, and everybody knows, and DHR and everybody knows I'm the best choice for Nancy. She doesn't have anybody. She has her son, my friend, that's incarcerated. And we thinking now he's probably going to be in there till September 2025. I've been here since August of 2024. She has a sister that loves me dearly, that's 80 years old, that's bedridden in South Carolina. She can't come get her. And then she has another son, Rusty, in Texas. And Rusty's been helpful, didn't know any of this was going on. He claims and doesn't know his mom was in this bad of a shape. Okay? And he's helped with toiletries and funds, little things from Amazon, and helped me with finances here and there. But he won't come get her. Okay, so I've told the courts 3 months ago, and I've told her son, I'll drive her and the dog to you, 3 months ago, and nobody's here for her. This lady did not have anybody here or anybody around for her. Okay, so this was appointed by God, and I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be her guardian. I'm also her full-time caretaker, and we'll get into some caretaking things out there too to help. You caretakers that are doing this full-time can help me, and hopefully I can help you all, because it's been a very, very, very tough process. Being full-time caretaker, she wears diapers, she's got some memory issues, she's got some dementia, she's got some health-related issues. Thank God I had to start from square one, y'all, from getting her rehabilitated, from walking to getting her back to her doctors again. First time in almost a year she was not taking her meds. So I had to do everything from the doctors to the meds. We've been to the dentist's office. She had 2 teeth pulled. Okay. I had to get the dog groomed. Okay. And the dog's nails were growing out. Her nails were growing out. Her hair was matted. Okay. And I had to cut her hair and take the dog and have the dog groomed. And I got Nancy all cleaned up. And I realized after a while, I think it was the next day, I slept in her son's room. It's just a 2-bedroom shack of a house here in Alabama. And they rent the house. They don't own it. And I got to realizing in her bedroom, I didn't realize what Depends or diapers were. I've never done this before. I've never been a caretaker or guardian. Everything I've done has been trial and error, and I've had to learn a lot and a lot of lessons. I've made plenty of mistakes and could have done things different and better, but we saved her, and we saved the dog, and they're healthy, and they're getting better and better and better. And but in her bedroom, I realized, holy cow! It took me like after crashing the first night and driving, I was so tired. I stayed in Tuscaloosa, and I've always wanted to see Alabama University. The next day I toured the university, stayed at a hotel, and then I had 2 more hours to drive from Dallas to come here. And I came here, and after a while, after the initial clean, and rescue, and clean, and rescue, and garbage, and get everything hauled out of the house, I realized I got the bed so where I could crash myself, he had beer cans all over, and I got pictures and documentation of all this. I put together a folder of over 200 pictures and detailed images of day one up until now, really, for what she looked like, the whole 9 yards. But it took me after the first night of crashing, and as hard as I worked, and in the yard, the grass was overgrown, and etc., of realizing the next day, after getting up and getting acclimated and cleaning again, the sink was all stocked up. She couldn't use the sink. The toilet was all dirty. I got pictures and all of this stuff. Fridge was completely empty. She was eating out of cans. Again, had probably about 20 days to live. I was looking in her room, and I said, what are those pink things in the corner? And I got pictures of this, too. And I didn't realize, I went up to it, and I said, oh, my gosh. And I should have figured it out quicker with the bugs and the roaches, but I guess I was so tired and not thinking, and I was just in save mode and rescue mode, that I said, holy shit, those are diapers. So in the corner of her room was just piled up all dirty, feces diapers. Okay, she was completely out of diapers. And everything in her room was soiled. She was sleeping on it. Okay, she was sleeping on it. So, what did I do first thing in the morning? It was laundry. And I was doing laundry as soon as I got here too, but it was laundry all day long. Laundry. I had to wash and clean everything. More garbage. Out of the house. So it was just one thing at a time. Her son told me who her doctor was. Then it was getting her acclimated through her new health insurance, United Healthcare. I set up her healthcare plan. I set up a program with United Healthcare. Had a program. She was on Medicare through the Advantage program. And they had a program, United Healthcare. This helps anybody if they're on the Advantage plan and have Medicare and use United Healthcare for Advantage plan, at least in Alabama. I could get her no charge out of pocket or anything, physical therapy and occupational therapy. So for the first 7 months, we did that. And I got a log here, 2 logs, okay, of every day they came. Every day this company and these people were fantastic. And I want to give a shout out to Chris and Kyle that works for this company, Medical Centers Home Care. And they came twice a week, every week, physical therapy twice a week, occupational therapy twice a week, for about 7 months. Okay? So her son told me who her doctor was. Then we went to a doctor. I said, hey, this is the story. I rescued this lady and the dog in the home, and she hasn't been here in almost a year. And so they did the blood work. Okay, she had diabetes, etc. She was smoking in here, I guess, too. I never knew she smoked. Okay, and they eat like crap. Coca-Cola and fast food, and she had all kinds of problems. And then we got her back. So the blood work came back. And by this time, it was actually probably a month before I got her to the doctor. So besides the Whataburger initially, and maybe a first Coke or two because she wanted Cokes. And granted, at first I didn't know her condition. Okay, I had to figure out her memory loss. Okay, I had to figure all this stuff out. But after about a month or so and figuring out her doctor and getting her health care card, her United set up, got to the doctor, got the lab results all back. Well, she didn't even, there was a bunch of medication here, but I didn't know what it was for and how it was used and all that. So before I started giving stuff away, giving it to her, I wanted to get her checked out by the doctor. Okay? Well, because I had her in such a good, healthy way, and she wasn't smoking, she wasn't eating poor food, besides that Whataburger and maybe a Coke or so, and initially, she didn't need her diabetes meds anymore. There was a lot of things that were solved just from her not smoking and having a healthy diet and a healthy routine. So at first, she was all discombobulated. She was out of routine. Her body clock was off. She would wake up 2, 3 in the morning, and she would scavenge and eat, and like a zombie, sleepwalk almost. But she was coherent. But so after about 3 weeks of talking to her and getting to know her, I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "She has memory loss." So I brought that up on the first initial doctor visit. I said, "Hey, I need you to give her a cognitive test." Well, when they did, it was either that visit or the next visit. Of sure, it came back that, she failed it and had dementia and memory loss. Now, she's not gone. She knows what's going on. She knows her name. She knows me. She knows the dog. She knows her sons. She knows this house. She knows her name. She knows her social. But she forgets things. She forgets things a lot. But she's came out of that tremendously with the routine and the health and everything that we got her involved in. So, I just got to cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And in a minute here, I'm going to introduce you to her. And then I'm sure I forgot a bunch of stuff. And then we'll go into details about different things. And there'll be different parts to this video. But if anybody knows, too, I'd be more than happy to show the folder I put together of over 200 pictures of documenting all this stuff, okay? Of her day one until now. And what God has done, I want to give all glory. I believe in Jesus. Some of y'all might believe in other things, but I believe in Jesus Christ as my Savior. And He's appointed me to be here. This is a divine appointment for me to come. And that was a reason why. And even my ex-girlfriend agrees. Well, you knew something was going on with Nancy. You knew something. And that was a means to an end why we broke up. And it was God's plan that I had the time and the means to be able to come here and do this. And I left my business and everything for this lady. And again, like I said, she has nobody else. There would nobody else. I told the courts, if somebody can do a better job, please do it. If somebody can do this, please help me. Her son won't come get her, Rusty. I'm frustrated at him. We're working through it. He still helps me financially just a little bit a month. Not much. He says he's broke now. So, in that story, that's how we saved Nancy Bearden, saved this dog, saved this home. And I became her permanent guardian, her full-time caretaker. And we're working through the process through appeals with Social Security Administration. I'm becoming her payee. This is the story. And we'll get into, maybe one of y'all can send something in the comments how I can put, because I got the folder and I can send it to people in text and stuff, but after 3 days or so it expires. So maybe a way y'all can tell me how to send a link down below in the comments or something so I can show you all this. And so any caretakers out there, guardians out there, people doing what I'm doing out there, God bless you. Keep doing it. Fight the good fight. Every day can be it's a full-time job, okay? It's a full-time job, and every day has its different challenges or struggles. Let me tell you, at first I was just winging it and going and learning, okay? Now I've got to the point where it's a routine for me. But 80-90% of the nurses and doctors say, Michael, you by yourself, 98% of people could not do what you're doing right now. And I don't have a staff. I don't have any help. Yeah, I had the people that came here for therapy and stuff, and that got her physical traits improved tremendously. But we don't have a full-time staff. I don't have anybody helping me care for her. It's just me. And mind you, I'm not getting paid at all. But thank God I've been approved for a program that's going to be allowing, in the state of Alabama, pay for the caretaker. So since I'm her first full-time caretaker also, so that's going to help tremendously. So that's the story of Nancy Bearden, and I'm going to get her up from a little nap here, and we're going to meet Nancy, and we're going to meet the dog, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll share and feed off of this video, and I'll share lots of other videos from this. We'll walk you through the house eventually and do other videos. I don't want to make the initial video so long because, you know, maybe people won't watch it or they'll get bored of it. So this is the true story, and I'm going to pause it, and we're going to go get her so y'all can meet this precious woman. She's 78 years old. She's got 2 kids. She was married by her first husband, Dan, which was a good friend of mine. I've known the family for 20 years, like I said. So Dan passed away a couple years ago, and they had divorced years and years ago. Her second husband, Dalton, that she was married to, passed away on her. I don't know exactly what year. So this beautiful lady's been married twice. She's had 2 beautiful children, or 2 boys. Unfortunately, when I say beautiful, they are. They're good. They got good hearts, but you know, we all have our problems in life and our struggles. And unfortunately, the one I've known the best is incarcerated. But I think it's a means to an end for her to never be in this situation. We're never going to let her be in this situation again. In the situation that I found her, eating out of cans with the bugs and the roaches and the garbage. And the poor dog would have sat right here and died with her. So we're going to go get her in a few minutes, and y'all can say hi to her. This, meanwhile, is the precious dog, Giffy. And she's the one I saved. And she's just a beautiful, beautiful dog. I walk her every day. We walk about 4 to 6 miles a day. She was probably never walked. So she's just a sweet, sweet dog. She's a beautiful dog, and everybody compliments us on her. How pretty she is. She's probably weirded out right now because I'm holding this phone and camera at her, and she's not used to that. I take a lot of pictures of her, but she's not used to that. But she's such a good girl. She minds well. I taught her how to sit. We walk every day, and she's just a sweetheart. She's Nancy's best friend. She's became my best friend too. All right, folks, this is Nancy. She's the lady I was talking about. She's a precious lady. She's a wonderful lady. But that lady and that dog were left alone in this house for 3 weeks. And the Lord sent me, and we saved her, and we got her well, and we're taking good care of her. Nancy, you got anything to say to the universe? About the situation, the story, anything you want to add to the universe? So we're getting ready to have something to eat soon, and she's snacking on one of those Fig Nature bars. I love those bars; they're so good. And we call them old Fig Newtons, but
that's what they were originally called, was Fig Newtons.
Yep. Nancy, what's some of your favorite movies?
Gone with the Wind.
And what other movie?
Casablanca.
And what actors in Casablanca?
Marlon Brando. No. I don't know.
What's his name? Bogey? What do you call him? Bogey?
Bogey. Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart. That's right. Well, this is Nancy. This is our sweet dog. This is the home that's not my home. This was their home that they were in, okay? And we're making the best of it. And we'll get into more details and videos. Nancy, say bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.